going to take some sort of modern day, you look at Martin Luther King. What was it? What was the one quality? I'll ask you guys. What's the one quality about Martin Luther King that made him so attractive in his day, and even always more attractive and reflective and challenging today to think about?
I'm torn between his intellect and his charisma as an answer to that question. What made him so special? He obviously was incredibly smart.
Yeah.
Like next level smart. He graduated high school at 15. Done with college by 19.
1960s.
Yeah.
In the 60s. Incredibly smart. Some of his quotes, his speeches, stuff that he said off the cuff. What was that quote you always, that he said to the police officer?
In Alabama, yes. You're standing against the metaphysical grammar of reality by arresting me.
Wow.
Not that history's going to view you wrong.
No.
Like this is like a universal law.
Yeah.
Like the law of gravitation. There's a law of ethics, and it's like, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they've done. It's kind of like a more ancient interpretation of that same thing.
Yeah. Jesus.
To tell a cop that while you're being beat is a hell of a thing to think about.
To even have.
That's an incredible quote on its own, but the context in which it was said makes it even more incredible. Martin Luther King was different. Like, even amongst different minds, he was a step above them.
Completely a whole nother level.
He was incredible, but his intellect, and also, again, like, you can't just have the one thing and be a great leader, which he certainly was. It has to be, you have to have the mind, and also you have to know how to use it. You have to be not just smart, but quick.
Yeah.
Clever, witty. That goes into thinking of some shit like that in that situation. And having an incredible amount of emotional intelligence as well, because the fine line you have to walk
between
in every speech you give and every action you take, every move you make. The only thing the opposing side needs to do to defeat this whole movement is put dents in your character. That's it. That's all they have to do. Is, oh, you're so righteous, Dr. King, well, you did this, or you said that. Oh, if they can, especially at that time, if they could have just destroyed his character, they win. That's it.
Right.
And they couldn't.
I think him having this concept of something bigger than himself helped him weather through the storm of, like, the infidelity things that came up.
Yeah.
Because I think at no point in time did he go, oh, I'm under no illusion that I don't give in to certain. I understand why you're doing what you're doing. I understand why you don't feel like doing what I'm doing. Trust me, I'm guilty of it. Something refreshing about hearing that sometimes too.
Yeah.
There was another quote about with him that I thought was interesting. Like, when he knelt in Selma, one of the things he thought about, and I don't mean he thought about this like a preacher thinks about it 2 Sundays later after they actually thought about it. I mean, in the moment, he thought about the Lazarus, right? Jesus raises him from the dead. If you read that passage of the Bible, Jesus goes to his tomb and knows perfectly good and well that he's going to bring this man from the grave. But he still cries and weeps. Now, when you think about the emotional intelligence involved in, like, understanding at some level this is an absolute tragedy, even if I redeem it, it's so, like, it's the metaphysical grammar. It goes back to that sort of lingo. He related that back to his taking a knee at Selma, because people were like, well, they were going to let you walk by. Maybe you still accomplished what you were going to accomplish. And it's like, no, you don't understand. These are actual people. Like, this isn't a hypothetical. This was the real situation, and it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Something was off. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But he thought that ethics was a real living thing. It wasn't just this abstraction. We would abstract it to make sense of it rationally. Like, I could say slavery is wrong in all possible universes.
Yeah.
We can debate that, and I think that I can make a very reasonable case that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also feel that that's true, and those two things come together.
Yeah.
He was both of those things, a genius in both of those categories.
And communicating those things to people far less intelligent than he is, which again takes a lot of emotional intelligence and cleverness to be able to navigate going into the White House and telling off the president.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who absolutely thinks that you, Martin Luther King, are less than he is.
Yeah.
Just in the context of planet Earth. Of course he thinks that. Martin Luther King didn't think so.
Mm-mm.
Martin Luther King was a bad motherfucker, man.
Man.
He was I had this book about Martin Luther King. It was like for kids when I was real young, maybe first or second grade. And the thing that stood out to me for whatever reason when I was like 6 or 7 was that he graduated high school at 15. And I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to graduate high school at 15. She was like, okay. And I actually skipped 2 grades. I skipped from 1st to 3rd grade. I was going to do that shit. Nigga. I was serious. I was like, I'm going to graduate at 15. I will not be stopped. I've been this way my whole life. I've been this way my whole life. Like, I'm going to do that shit. And then I got in a fight.
And that stopped it all.
See? One
fight.
That's all it takes.
Just took you out of it all.
His influence just on Atlanta, like,
Yeah.
I think about that. It's
that city is just,
huge.
you know, the blackness it's in the fabric of the city. I mean, and it's largely because of him.
Yeah.
Largely, not totally, but largely comes from him. This is Black Hollywood. This is and I've been in Atlanta. I took a tour of Morehouse and you know, went to DC, saw the statue of King there. I went to the church that he used to preach in. We did a tour through there, and it felt, I don't know, there was definitely like a, I don't even know how to describe it. Like
there's a lot of people that when they go there, they feel like they're home.
Right. There was like that's how I felt it at Morehouse.
Like, this is where
I was like,
fit.
I want to be here because of I don't think I could have described it at the time, but I felt that I'm in something larger than myself right now. This is more important than I am as an individual, but I am still an individual, which I think is a nice dynamic to be able to have. Where your individualism might fail you. Yeah. Giving into something greater might propel you further than you otherwise
could have ever imagined. Yeah.
So, yeah, Martin Luther King. We fuck with Martin Luther King in this domicile.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's as articulate as a man can be.
Yeah.
You know, this is an obscure analogy here, but one of the reasons I think C.S. Lewis scales better than a lot of philosophers and theologians is because he's able to write through the lens, and I think Martin Luther King would agree with this because they both were extremely theologically driven men. Write as if you can teach eternal truths to children.
Right.
We heard Martin Luther King say the stuff he said as kids, and you go, oh my God, like he's touching on something till this day go, I can't get, like he was right. It's still perplexing, and it's still like, oh, he was completely present. That's what happens when someone is, Daniel Day-Lewis in an acting scene in real life. Yeah. Those type of moments where things really, shit hits the fan, and you find out if you're a real man. Yeah. Or a real woman. Yeah. Rosa Parks doing what she did, I don't think that's even it's taught. But I don't, even by today's standards,
to really demonstrate
even in 2020, if you go, I'm not moving my seat, and even if it doesn't have that, not waver. Even if it's as small as someone said you have bad body odor, you're making me nauseous, move. And you don't. Yeah. The amount of public pressure around that.
Right.
Right.
All right, guys. So we're going to end it right there. Of course, if you like the content, you like what we're doing, go ahead and like, subscribe, Also hit that notification button right underneath this video. That's how you're going to be able to know exactly when each one of our content is going to be launching. Also, thank you all. We appreciate you all taking your time out to listen to us, watch us. Of course, welcome to the family, and we'll be with you all soon. Peace.